All right, I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives as well as our own, and we work towards becoming the artists we've always wanted to be. Now, in my last couple of videos, I was a little ecstatic, so I was talking about a mural project that I was approached about last year, and then was asked to do the other day, and I just found out this morning I'm actually asked to submit, and there are 2 other people submitting, so I'm sorry if I misled you. I didn't understand. That wasn't made clear in the conversation. But regardless, I have happy news. Several people have gifted me some help, some financial support, so I can get the materials I need, or at least, I can get the materials I need to do the first step, which is developing an image of Emma E. Booker. And I'm really excited about this. I have some things formulating in my head. And so I bought 3 canvases at Michael's, not the Michael's I usually go to, but I've been online looking at Michael's stores near us, and there's only 2, and just checking the inventory, so that I can get more affordable canvases. I really wanted to avoid having to drive to Blick in Tampa. It's a full day of travel, which is too much for my RSD. Although it would be really good for my heart to get out of Sarasota, it's a little much, and I don't want to have to drive all that way. I really just don't want to have to drive all that way unless I'm going to be spending like a grand amount of money. So I went on the website again, and I kept checking there's 3 stores near us. I kept checking the local stores and the inventory, and I found 3 48 by 60 canvases at the UTC Mall, which is, it's too far for me to go on my scooter, but I'm headed to U-Haul to pick up a truck so I can go pick them up. I've already bought them online and confirmed it, and so it is. I'm just really, really happy again. This is how I get when I'm happy. I'm like a squirrel. But because of 3 people that have gifted me money so far, our friend Eric, who has always been so kind and generous, Karen, thank you so much for the Blick gift certificate. I am going to use it. And it's to get aerosols because they have great aerosols. Anonymous, Miss Anonymous, thank you very much. That was a huge surprise this morning. I woke up after only getting a few hours sleep, and I scrolling through my phone while I'm waiting for coffee, and I went, what? What? I had to keep checking it because I couldn't believe it. Thank you so much. If you would like to, but still, there are a million steps to me getting this job, and then, or getting the mural, and then, okay, head work, please. There are a million little things that I need to get my submission together, and then start working towards actually producing the mural. I've never done an outdoor mural. I've never done a mural of this size indoor. Well, I painted an entire restaurant once and a house. So I guess I have done large murals, but this is going to be 2 stories high, and I don't know what the footage is, the width of it, but it's very, very big. So we're talking probably at minimum 20 feet by 30 feet. I'm not, I don't know. I have to get the dimensions. I'm still waiting for them. This is a large scale mural. I'm going to be doing it all in aerosols. And so what I need to do is to practice with my aerosols. I've been using them on tiny in comparison to this wall, small canvases, going as high as 8 feet. but I need to practice and practice and practice and practice so that I have a system down pat when we get there. Because they offered, originally I thought I was offered this one large wall, but there were actually 5 murals in downtown Sarasota that have to be produced. So, or that I was talked, 3 to 5. Anyway, I was talked to about producing. So I need to get this skill down. How to produce large images using larger images using just aerosol. So what I'm going to do today is pick up some, first I'm going to pick up the 3 canvases, the 3 48 by 60 canvases. Then I'm going to head out and pick up some really inexpensive aerosols, because we have enough money where I can pick up some inexpensive aerosols and at least start the first submission, the first image. If that works out well, then I'll probably reproduce it. Okay, so, all right, let's try this again. What I'm going to do today is pick up the 3 canvases and some inexpensive aerosols at one of the stores I hate shopping at, but I'm going to go do it anyway. It shall go unnamed, the store. I'll start an image on one of the 48 by 60 canvases, and if I'm reasonably happy with what I'm doing, or like it catches on in my head, then I'm going to take the other 2, set them up so they're stacked on top of each other, and then reproduce a second image. And that's the one I'll probably be photographing and submitting to this board. And so anyway, I'm just super, super grateful. After that, though, if I get the job, or if I'm offered one of the jobs, what I'll need to do is pick up plywood, primer, and more aerosols. And this is where Blick especially will come in super handy, because they have the right aerosols. So it would take I would probably need about 4 sheets of 4 by 8 plywood. I don't know how much primer, and then aerosols to go from there. So it's like I'm looking at this in stages, and I've had the past 2 days to kind of start planning this out, how I'm going to get there. And if we get the job, if we get one of the jobs, and I'm sorry it's an if now, I didn't know that when I first talked about it. And one of the other steps will be me having to take safety classes in using a scissor lift or an aerial lift. And they both require, you're not required, but for the rental company where we would need to get either a scissor lift or an aerial lift, I will need a certificate. And those run anywhere from $200 to $300 each. It's a hands-on class, and then it's a written test where you prove that you've learned how to use this equipment. They're only 1 day each, but they're a tool in my tool belt. Because really, murals are something I've always wanted to do, but I've never had an opportunity like this. Or actually, I kind of have, but I didn't take it because I was working all the time. So anyway, that's where we are. That's where we are. And I just want to thank Karen and Eric and Miss Anonymous again. I can't believe it. I couldn't sleep last night because I'm like, oh my God, I have so much money, but that's not enough to rent a truck and drive all the way to Tampa and buy the canvases, because they are almost double at Blick what they are at Michael's. They are better canvas, better stretchers, but still, you can only use what you can use. You can only buy what you can afford. So I'm like, I really fretted over this. I think I went to sleep about 4 o'clock this morning and woke up at 9:30. So it was, or 8:30, I don't even know. I'm groggy, but I'm super excited, and I'm going to get to work on this, because this is something I really want, and I want you to be able to experience it with me. We finally have, we have a footing. We have a footing, and I want us to be able to celebrate it together. And I want you to feel that your investment in your time, your financial investment in your investment in time and patience and kindness in me is being respected. And it is deeply appreciated. So one more thing before I head off to U-Haul. Behind me are two landscapes that I did over the past couple days. This one I finished up last night, and it's really hard to see. Although with the glare, you're getting a small idea of what I'm going to tell you. You can kind of see what I'm going to explain to you. In the painting, it's not just black. In fact, there is no black in this other than black gesso. What we have are oils, my Gamblin oils, mixed with mineral spirits or Neo McGilp. So we actually have three different effects in there. The mineral spirits, as we know, dries out the oil. So you get almost a flat effect, but light still captures that tiny bit of oil that's left behind that isn't dried out. The Neo McGilp gives a richer feeling. And then we've got the flat gesso, just the black gesso that I put down in swipes. We've got some black gesso down here that's still exposed, so we can see those swipes, those brush strokes where I put them on. And I use that as motion and flow in the painting, and also kind of a template. But I lay out the black gesso before I've even chosen the image. So it's kind of cool the way it always works together like a puzzle. So down in here, though, we've got oils mixed with mineral spirits down in here, and throughout the tree, which you can kind of see, the silhouette of the trees, there are different blues. There's transparent earth red that our friend Bill, sent. There's a mixture of the two, transparent earth red and blues. There's a little bit of teal. What else did we put in there? A couple of other colors, but they're hints. They're not. You can't really see them. Then down below, of course, we've got different. That's why. Different oranges and yellows mixed with Neo McGilp, so that they really do glow. The light will pass through. The light does pass through. The Neo McGilp goes down to the aerosol base underneath, which is everywhere in here, down to the aerosol base underneath, and then comes back out and kind of glows. And then in the sky, in the cloud, actually, in the clouds, we've got a mixture of not titanium white, which I like, the only white that I use. We've got Portland gray. Gamblin Artist Co. is Portland gray. They're radiant blue, and then different magenta and purple, like a few different purpley and pinky colors mixed, so that we get different effects in here. And then in here, that is just aerosol and a little bit of oil. I think, what color did we use? I think it was a Portland gray, just a thin layer mixed with mineral spirits. So we've got a semi-dry here, but you can see the aerosol popping through, and then the rest of it. And then in the tree as well, sorry, I'm thinking I gotta get to the U-Haul. I gotta go get these canvases and get started. But in the silhouette of the trees, there are just a few thin lines of some colors, God knows what, mixed with Neo McGilp. So we've got this nice effect, but instead of just leaving those brush strokes with the oils and Neo McGilp, I went back over them with a slightly fatter brush and ran some mineral spirits down to dry them out and thin them out so they're not standing out. So it's not that, one thing that irritates me about painting sometimes is that I'll make the mistake of making one thing a complete focus, and instead of thinking, how does the paint act and react to light and with the viewer? Because we want them to feel the experience of painting. I want them to feel what I feel and see the way I see, or at least try and explain to them how I see. Sometimes I will get focused on one image, and I start, really, I work on it. Try not to do this, but I work and work and work on it. and I'll mix in Neo McGilp and the oils, and all of a sudden I've just got like this one bright shining image and then the rest of the painting. And it feels average, and I don't want it to feel average, and it feels kind of predictable, and I don't want my work to feel predictable. So here, what I've done in using the Neo McGilp, using the mineral spirits for the silhouette, I've actually framed them instead of painting the trees, and this is kind of what I was getting to. Instead of painting the trees, instead of making, trying to paint each brush stroke, what I've done is left it dark and dry, so then it's actually framed by the cloud. And this allows a lot of motion to go on. So your eye doesn't really know where to lay. Does it lay in the house? But then unconsciously or subconsciously, it's coming up to the Neo McGilpin oils in the clouds and kind of whooshing around, and it's connecting all the dots without connecting all the dots. And although I could make the tree the subject, I could make the silhouette of the trees the subject by painting them explicitly, by applying paint on top of paint on top of paint explicitly, which could be interesting, and getting into tiny little details and, painting every little strand of moss. I've just framed them. And so I feel the viewer doesn't know, is this a subject? Is this a subject? Is this a subject? Is the cloud the subject? And that's what I want. So it's always interesting, and it's pulling your eye and your mind around the campus. And so this is the second one. I started it yesterday, and if you'll notice, there's two little pieces of tape down there because I found a hole in the bottom, and I have to repair it. It's an easy repair. But we're doing the same thing here, using different colors mixed with mineral spirits for a nice flat silhouette, and then Neo McGilp to make the sky really rich and frame everything else. And what's nice is that even the colors, the subtle use of colors with mineral spirits in the silhouette, they pop just a tiny bit. You have to look for it, but once you shift in a different way, it's like, oh, there's the cerulean blue, there's a little bit of orange. It's not explicit. You have to shift. The viewer has to shift and play with the light, and then they see it. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to U-Haul now. I'm going to U-Haul. I'm picking up canvases. Thanks so much. This is Beck Lane, and this is Catalyst & Company. If you would like to help support Catalyst & Company and or the mural project that I'm working on, because now apparently, it's a thing, and I'm submitting, but then there's multiple walls that are available that I can submit work to. If you would like to help, all the links are down below, including links to Cash App and PayPal, as well as TeePublic, where you can buy images of my work on t-shirts and tote bags and coffee mugs. There's Patreon, which finally I have an actual goal for patrons, another actual goal for patrons to invest in. In the beginning, Patreon was helping me to pay for the iPad, and now we've only got one payment left, and that's all taken care of. That's off the table, but I can now actually do posts and things on Patreon because we have stuff. We have stuff going on. I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to get off because squirrels. All right, ready, Carrie? Here we go. Ciao. Thanks again, Karen, Eric, and Miss Anonymous. Thank you. Ciao. Meow, meow, meow. Boink.